Democrats in Iowa gathered in schools, gyms, libraries and churches to decide their favorite candidates. The nominated candidates will go through the internal voting process to decide the Democrats' candidate to take on Donald Trump. Now, before we delve into that, let's understand the concept of caucuses in the United States. A caucus is a meeting of supporters or members of a specific political party. While caucus system is not like a traditional vote, it is the first stop for the nomination. The system chooses political candidates for presidential elections. It gives the initial understanding of what voters think of the candidates who aim to enter the race to become the president. Now, residents of Iowa hold more than 1,600 caucus meetings. In each caucus, voters decide and divide themselves up and stand with those who support the same candidate as them. If there are enough like-minded voters, then their candidate gets a delegate. Yet during a caucus, it is important for a candidate to receive a minimum number of 15% votes to be able to continue on the second and final vote. If voters can opt for being uncommitted, if they don't have a favorite candidate, case of a tie can be resolved by the flip of a coin. This happens when two candidates have an equal number of supporters but odd number of delegates. In a first, Iowa will allow 17-year-olds to vote in the caucuses as long as they turn 18 by November when the presidential election is held. Now, the small state of Iowa has once again gained attention of the international media. Iowa is largely agricultural state and does not represent a diverse cross-section of America, and statistically, candidates who win the Iowa caucus do not end up being the elected president. Then why is Iowa caucus so important? Let's take a look. It is the first state in the United States electoral process to choose a candidate for president. The level of support a candidate receives in Iowa sets a tone of how they might perform when the rest of America votes. The timing of caucus helps candidates tweak their campaign messages depending upon the response. A good response from the residents of Iowa helps build a candidate's chance to win the national nomination. In the past, underdog candidates have been able to gain more traction due to more attention in Iowa caucus. Nearly all the states in the United States have a binding primary for caucus. Let's now shift focus on what are primaries. A primary is a government-managed election with secret ballots. It is a preliminary election which voters of each party nominate candidates for office. Now, voters decide which party best represents their views. They then go on to polls and cast their ballot for who they want to be the candidate of their party. The process helps parties select candidate for general elections. Primaries can hold a party's platform on various issues. The primaries system has been developed over time by states and party leaders. It is not required by the US Constitution. Primaries and caucuses are important because future US presidents are based on the outcome of these democratic exercises.